Shimmer, sparkle.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salai Lomakwidira. The time is 9:37 Central African time. And we're going to be switching gears now to, I think, a very heartwarming story. We're going to be looking at an initiative that I think, is going to be doing a lot of difference, particularly to young girls, children, ladies who are in matric, who are in school. It's a story of hope. It's a story of dignity in the face of rising concern over period poverty across South Africa, where there's a lack of access to sanitary products and it continues to disrupt education and the well-being for many girls and young women. And one community-led initiative is offering relief and respect. Kema Yoga Flow, a women-centered wellness organization, recently turned a themed yoga class into something much, much bigger. A pad drive and outreach project. The drive resulted in 360 packs of sanitary pads, which were repackaged into 180 care packs and delivered to matrics at Ivory Park Secondary School ahead of their final exams. And joining us now to tell us how all this happened and to share why this kind of work matters is the initiative's founder, Chevonne Ramharuk, a woman-centered entrepreneur with a background in psychology. Chevonne, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to News and Views. Really appreciate you giving us your time.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, the pleasure is all ours. And I think we'll jump right into it. I think this is a very, very heartwarming story. It's a very, very important initiative that you guys have embarked on. If you could give us insight on what really inspired Kema Yoga Flow to launch this pad drive. How did something as simple as a yoga class evolve into an educational support initiative of this kind?
Well, it's quite a background story. So I've been in survival mode for a while, and that led me to my very own Eat, Pray, Love journey. And I found myself in a yoga teacher training course, and it grounded me in ways I didn't expect. So for the first time, I felt like I had the capacity to breathe, think, and feel like myself again. And I remember thinking, if I feel this way, how many other women must need the same thing? So I opened my business a year ago in hope of creating a space for women where they feel held, safe, and reconnected with myself. And as I grew, I realized I wanted to reach even more women in different ways. That's when I decided to include an element of charity in every wellness event I lead. So women would benefit from a single event, whether they're in the room with me or receiving support through our outreach programs. And then for the pad drive specifically, we hosted a class paired with the pad drop-off, and our community showed up beautifully, donating both pads and money. And with those funds, we were able to purchase 360 packs of pads, which were repackaged into 180 care bags, each containing 2 packs. And we had chosen Ivory Park Secondary School because the need was clear and the school was eager to collaborate. In many communities across South Africa, girls still face challenges accessing menstrual products, which can affect their confidence, well-being, and school attendance, which leads to poor academic performance. So the need was very clear and very loud.
No, most definitely. And I think it was a wonderful initiative that you guys embarked on. And I think, the most interesting element for me and, yourself as someone who has background in psychology and wellness,
Yes.
why is menstrual dignity, so important? It shouldn't be just physical and mental health that, should be focusing on, but menstrual dignity, especially for young girls who are in school. Why is it so important, to make that a priority amongst the host of other things?
I think there's so much shame around periods that girls don't end up going to change their pads or even having pads to change into which affects their health. And like I said, it affects their school attendance and academic performance because of the shame and the stigma around that. So to get rid of that and to destigmatize these things, it helps with the overall mental health of them as well.
Mm, mm, mm. And do you envision, this pad drive as a one-off event or the start of a recurring, expanding initiative? And when you look at your vision board, what would you, take? What would it take to scale it up, to have it in more schools, to have it in more classes, or have other partners involved for a more sustained kind of fundraising, initiative?
So for the previous one, we had done Ivory Park Secondary School, only the matric learners, the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And for future, we're planning to reach rural schools just before the June 2026 exams. And I'm looking into which schools we can go to for that and how to get further funding and how to add wellness to that.
Mm.
So that's the plan for June 2026.
Very, very important. And let's talk about the girls themselves. Well, what was the response? Did the learners and the teachers or just the wider community give you when the support was delivered? Are there specific stories that you look at after this delivery and you're like, we actually made a difference in that person's life and it's going to be long lasting?
Yes, I was actually so nervous to go and deliver these because I thought, what if it's not good enough? What if they need more? All those kinds of thoughts came up. But when I got to the school, everybody was so welcoming, so helpful. And the girls were very attentive, very kind, friendly, even calling my name to take pictures and all of those. So it was really a turning point, a learning curve on how to go about this in future. And it was a great experience to see how the community coming together can support women in different ways like this.
No,
So I
very,
was
very
really,
wonderful.
really, really impressed. Yes.
No, I think it's wonderful, especially looking at us entering the 16 days of no violence against women and children, and just the support for women, anti-GPV stances that the country has taken. I think this was a really, really wonderful initiative. Let's talk about people that want to assist you, that want to get involved, that feel very, very strongly about countering period poverty in South Africa, particularly for young school girls in the country. How can they get hold of you?
They can reach me on my email address, which is kimayogaflow@gmail.com. They can check out my website, which is kimayogaflow.wordpress.com, or they can contact me through Instagram, and the handle is kimayogaflow. And I will definitely get back to them because we need all the hands we can get.
Well, there you have it, Chevonne Ramharuk. Thank you so much for joining us, and really, really appreciate the wonderful work that you are doing. And hope you do more and more of it, and hope our listeners get involved and they become part of it. I think it's a wonderful initiative. And this is happening in my hood. It's in Tembisa, Ivory Park, not so far away. So I think it hits a bit closer home to me. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
There you go, Chevonne Ramharuk. They're giving us insight on a wonderful initiative that began as a yoga class and it turned into much, much more. It became a gesture of, solidarity, of dignity and hope for the young girls of South Africa who are striving to complete their education under very, very difficult circumstances. We know period poverty is a thing. It leads to, young girls losing days and days and days of school because they can't afford sanitary products. And yeah, I think it's brilliant initiative, and if you want to get involved, you want to be a part of it, you can get in touch with Chevonne Ramharuk there. She shared her contact details, her Instagram there, and be part of something great, be something of difference making into the future generations of this country. We come to the end of this segment. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.